Halloween is slowly creeping into the Disneyland Resort. Goofy's Kitchen returns without Goofy and his friends, and Haunted Mansion Holiday is gearing up for the season. There's so much to get to, so many topics to touch on. It's time for a Disneyland drop-in. It is a beautiful day to cover all the latest updates coming out of the happiest place on Earth. Hello, everyone. Wade for the Kingdom Report back with you once again. And hey, Mickey. Hey, Minnie. Doesn't she look ravishing? She always does. My friends, if you haven't done so already, we do encourage you to hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see today. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss anything. With that notification bell turned on, you're always alerted anytime we have new updates for you. We start here in Town Square, where there are two things noticeably absent. Number one happens to be just in front of us. There is a lone umbrella, there is a storage area, but there is no vending cart. Yes, there used to be a popcorn cart here, and you can see that clearly there is a setup for it, but nothing around. Perhaps it is just getting detailed. We also noticed on the opposite side of Town Square, the churro cart that usually sits here nearest Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Well, that too is noticeably absent. Again, just hoping it's being detailed, and we'll come back very soon. Let's not waste any time. Let's head up Main Street, USA, and get the rest of these updates started. It was another unseasonably cool day at the original Magic Kingdom. I'll take it. You know, I often like to provide tips and anything that can offer up some value to you and your experience for when you visit. And something I've recently found here at the Jolly Holiday Bakery is that if you mobile order a certain breakfast option, not only is it super fast, but it's a great deal. This is the egg, bacon, and cheese croissant with a side of fruit and a piping hot caffeinated beverage, all with a killer view, all for $11.19. I mean, and that's after tax. You can't beat that deal, and it's a great way to start your day. Just something I picked up and will continue to start my day with anytime I'm in the park. Here in Frontierland, we have some exciting news, and that is Halloween is creeping in. Yes, little by little, some spurts of Halloween are popping up across the resort, and no doubt we are just days away from Halloween fully enveloping the resort property, as often happens this time of year. One day, you're there, you might see a decoration here, a decoration there, and then the next day, Halloween is everywhere. That's the magic of this place. And you know, we've been reporting recently on just how low the crowds have been, just how empty the park has been. On this day, crowds were noticeably a little bit thicker, but still incredibly reasonable, with wait times hovering around 20 to 25 minutes. Again, very reasonable. As we move from one season to another, we do anticipate, especially moving into this week, that a whole lot more people are going to be joining us since that Magic Key annual pass holder replacement program debuts. Back here at the Blue Bayou, really to touch on something that we're getting asked a lot about lately, and that is, how do we find reservations for very hard-to-book restaurants? And while we don't have a for sure strategy, there is something that I've noticed seems to work more often than not, and that is waiting. And you got to have a lot of faith that it's going to happen and not be disappointed if it doesn't, but waiting until a day or two before your trip day in order to book the reservation you want, because oftentimes there's a credit card guarantee that comes with these reservations, and people will dump them 24 to 48 hours before their experience. And so I often do find that there's an opportunity to get the reservation that I want a day or two before my trip. Hopefully that works for you. Back here in New Orleans Square, right next to Blue Bayou, in fact, 2 doors down, we have what used to be Le Baton Rouge, the store that used to be here is no longer, and this has been completely shut down since Disneyland reopened, with signs in the window indicating that it's no longer going to be a retail store. No, it's going to be something food-related. In fact, gumbo is the spice of life, it says. And it says they're cooking up something new in this location as well. We will keep our eye on it and let you know if we see anything change. It's been like that since June, so we're wondering what is cooking back there. From Royal Street to Esplanade, we come on over here to the Haunted Mansion, where Sandy Claus is busy decking these haunted halls. That's right, Haunted Mansion Holiday is right now being installed to the Haunted Mansion, and will be debuting on September the 3rd. We're right around the corner from that, and we could see through the scrim all of the jack-o'-lanterns set up in the walkway. Yeah, this is the queue area, the queue space where usually you would be lining up for the ride. And look at all those candelabras, all of those various Santa hats in there. It was funny to watch them be all laid out down this pathway, ready to be installed, but certainly taking inventory, it looks like, of all of the jack-o'-lanterns that they will need. Moving back to Critter Country, Splash Mountain is the center of attention once again. We heard not too long ago that there is a plan to overhaul Splash Mountain in both Disneyland Park and in Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World into a bit of a rethemed story that's attached to Princess and the Frog. However, Disney has recently acknowledged that there's no plans to do this anytime soon, but they do have plans to do it. So it sounds like this ride is going to be around significantly longer than everybody imagined. I know there were a lot of folks very worried that it was going to be completely rethemed and overhauled within less than a year. It looks like we're probably going to be another year or two out from anything actually happening in it. So good news for the original sort of OG fans of Splash Mountain. Back here next to Splash Mountain, Pooh's Corner is the area where oftentimes you'll find Pooh and his friends, and this is pre-pandemic, of course, but you haven't seen them back here the entire time since Disneyland has reopened. In fact, Pooh and Eeyore, along with Tigger, tend to be up in the hub near Main Street, USA. Just interesting that they're not using the space, and it's all outdoors. It's completely useful still, but they're not using it back there. Speaking of characters, Jasmine, the Princess Extraordinaire, and Moana walking through their adoring crowd here in Fantasyland. Just up the hill from that, we do see the Troubadour Tavern snack shop completely shuttered still under mothballs, as it has been since Disneyland reopened. And of course, the Fantasyland Theater right next to it remains dark at this time. Really hoping to see something return in this space at some point in the near future. It's sad not having it available. And yes, giant box alert, as we have been covering in recent weeks. This giant box completely sort of intruding on the entrance to Toontown right next to It's a Small World has been erected the last few weeks, and of course we figured it was something to have to do with the walkway. And look at this, they're laying bricks all the way down the walkway leading to Toontown's entrance. What an aesthetic upgrade. I don't know why they're doing it, but a tremendous upgrade from what was formerly there, which was just basically green cement. So kudos to Disney on doing that. Here in Toontown, you do see Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway construction. Not a whole lot of visible progress from the ground yet. Unfortunately, we do see in the concept art lots to still do, lots to still make happen. But one thing I wanted to give you perspective on is just how gigantic this building is that they've created. And you can see it. Yes, I walked all the way out to the Interstate 5 overpass just to give you this view from the street. Look how big, long, and just gigantic this structure is for no doubt the space they are right now installing Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Back in Fantasyland, I saw the Pearly Band was out from Mary Poppins, and they were joined by Bert and a penguin from the film, who brought us an interpretive dance we didn't know we needed. I don't know about you, but I feel quite moved by their interpretive dance. Thank you very much, Bert and the Penguin from Mary Poppins. Here up near Sleeping Beauty Castle, I wanted to make mention of a store that has yet to reopen since Disneyland has officially returned, and that is the Enchanted Chamber. Now, this is a location that has some pretty prime real estate, one of the few locations that is literally in the castle. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this was a third-party institution that perhaps, and hopefully not, went out of business, as so many companies have, but it may have been run by Disney just prior to the shutdown, and perhaps they just haven't opened it up because it is such a tiny space, and it's for the sake of comfort. At any rate, we do hope to see the Enchanted Chamber back open very soon. And now, we move into the future. Welcome to Tomorrowland, where some very exciting developments are underway back at the monorail platform. We have been waiting for any sign of progress when it comes to the monorail's potential return to Tomorrowland and, of course, the downtown Disney station, especially since Walt Disney World's monorail really seemed to be operating the moment Walt Disney World reopened last year. The monorail at Disneyland, no such luck. Well, look at this. All kinds of scrims have gone up. Work was being done while I was there. Entire work crews were up on the platform, moving things around, painting, sprucing things up. This could be something, it could be nothing. What I mean by that is potentially this is just sort of wrapped into the big refurbishment going on Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage, or they legitimately could be preparing the monorail station for service. Hopefully, it's the latter. We move back up to the hub area, where right next to Sleeping Beauty Castle, Winnie the Pooh and Eeyore were meeting and greeting guests. Again, I point out, they have their own dedicated themed space right next to their ride in Critter Country. I have no idea why they're here, but it's great. I mean, they get to see more people in this location, so, it's a plus. Here on Main Street, USA, Christmas Tree Point, as this area is known, this view will soon be obstructed with the Mickey Jack-o'-lantern. No doubt in just a few days, that will soon pop up, as will the Christmas tree right after that. There is all kinds of Halloween merchandise to take a look at here inside the Emporium. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive into the Emporium and take a look for ourselves. Halloween merchandise galore, all kinds of good options to choose from. I am a big fan of Hocus Pocus myself. Let me know in the comments section what you found most appealing out of that lineup. And just outside of the tunnels, right next to the Mickey Floral, the newsstand is under wraps right now. Looks like a bit of TLC is being provided to it, a tiny refurbishment for this small location right next to the tunnels when you walk in through the main entrance. And speaking of, just across from the main entrance, California Adventures entrance is getting Halloweenified. Oogie Boogie has settled in. Yes, beckoning all who come to this California adventure to watch themselves or be spookified by his antics. Of course, the patriotic bunting inside is still there. However, we expect Halloween to take over in the next couple days. The Magic Bake Off, this is the special event happening in downtown Disney this week. It will be gone here very shortly. Was encouraging kids and families to come on in and bake. It was a synergistic event in cooperation with the Disney Channel and their show, Magic Bake Off. There were a lot of people here throughout the day. I just caught it at night when it was all over. At any rate, looked like it was a fun event. A Goofy's Kitchen at the Disneyland Hotel has officially returned, sans Goofy and the rest of his pals. In fact, Goofy's Kitchen returns without the character dining experience. It is just a buffet at this time. Characters will return in the near future. And if you'd like to see a full review of what dinner's like at Goofy's Kitchen without Goofy and his friends, well, I just stopped by, so be sure to check it out here on the channel. Well, my friends, that about wraps things up for us. If you are a fan of what you saw here today, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with that notification bell turned on so you never miss any of our updates, and the thumbs up button is always appreciated. Looking forward to Halloween taking over the Disneyland Resort in the next couple days. That way, the next time we meet, we can cover it all for you. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We will see you next time for another edition of Disneyland Drop-In.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.